Yes. Alrighty. What's up, everybody? It is I, your Tribal God of Extreme, Peter Joseph here, for another video right here on the main channel, Killer of Demons 669. And as always, thank you for watching. Make sure you like the video, hit the subscribe button down in my pants, otherwise known as the description box below. Share the video all over the internet. And leave a comment on this video or any one of my videos in the past, now, and in the future coming with all these stupid comments you get sent to the Shadow Realm, beaten with a barbed wire baseball bat, and then Ozzy and Satan will come out and kick your ass and then eat your soul. So don't do it. Go somewhere else with that. Follow me on social media, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Don't forget to tap and slap that fucking bell. Turn on all notifications so you don't miss the next one. Because you miss anything, oh boy, you're SOL. You own, and I think we all know what that means by now for the past 17 years. You should. If you don't know what it means, look it up. You dumb, lazy fuck. And that's that. So, once again, like, share, subscribe, leave a comment, and that's pretty much it. And if you're brand new here, well, welcome to the party, pal. We hope you enjoy the ride. Grab that cold one, put your feet up, relax, and enjoy the show. If you like it, great. You don't, well, that's just too goddamn bad, Mahoney. Because you're going to like it anyway. Because you're going to watch, because you got nothing else to do on a late Saturday night. Or Sunday, whatever day it is. You're too busy being stupid. That's pretty much all I got to say about that. Alright, so like, share, subscribe. Don't forget to hit the bell. And that's it. And like I said, if you're brand new here, well, welcome. Hope you have fun. If not, get the fuck out. But thank you for the view anyway, assholes. We move on. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, on this late Saturday night, May the 30th, 2026, or if you're watching later, it's on the replay. It is now the final day of May, May the 31st, 2026, as we are closing the beautiful month of May, and on Monday we begin pretty much the last month of the first half of The Price is Right. The first half of the year. So as we hit Monday, we're pretty much 29 days away from the second half of the year. As we hit July, summer is going to be here pretty much in 2 weeks from pretty much 2 weeks from this coming weekend. So it's under 3 weeks right now, but pretty soon it'll be summer, and about a month away from July 4th weekend. Gonna be fun. Can't wait for that weekend. Gonna be explosive, if you know what I mean. And that's pretty much it. But I hope you had a great day, ladies and gentlemen. And if not, well, that's too bad for you. I had a pretty decent day. I did some stuff with the missus, and I pretty much was out pretty much all day. So I wanted to do videos earlier today, but obviously I didn't get home till late, a couple of hours ago actually, because I was me and the missus just had a great day, and that's pretty much it. We just hung out in the city, just walked around a little bit, did some stuff, ate, came home, just chilled. Chilled, took a long nap, and then we got up, watched probably one of the best Mexican pay-per-views I ever seen in history, in sports entertainment history, the sport of professional wrestling. Noche de los Grandes was epic. We got new champions, and the Triple R match of the year. Not the match, might be the match of the year overall. But the battle of the Grande Americanos, Ludwig Spears and Chad Gable. Who's going to lose the mask? Well, spoiler alert for those of you who haven't seen it. Chad Gable got his mask taken off. And so the OG Grande Americano lost, and Ludwig Spears, the hero of Mexico, his entrance was just amazing with the mariachi band and everything. The match itself was just picture-perfect storytelling. Blood in a mask versus mask match. I mean, we've seen that before with Pentagon and Triple A. But just an amazing match, and like I said, Ludwig Spears gets the win. And, OG, El Grande Americano, you even had the Creed brothers that come out and help him, and then Rayo and Bravo, Pete Dunne, and Tyler Bate. They came out a little bit late. I don't know where they were, probably eating tacos in the back. I don't know, but... And then, we all know, Andrea, Ludwig Spears' hot girlfriend, she came out with a ticket. It's like, I got the ticket! I got the ticket! Like Solo would say, I got a ticket! Whoosh. No ticket, like Indiana Jones. Part 3, I think. 3 or 4. That was 3. But, no ticket. So, that was funny. And then, pretty much the rest of the match was just amazing. Near falls and everything. But, an amazing night. If you haven't seen Noches de los Grandes, it's up on YouTube. It's on the WWE website, on the live section, I believe. Just look it up on YouTube. You can probably find it. And, that's it. But it was amazing. An amazing pay-per-view. And we got next week, too. This is a 2-week thing. Next week, we got more. Well, I don't know how many, what matches are next week, but, I mean, we'll see what happens with that. But like I said, besides that match, we got new champions. Rey Fenix is a new champion. He won the Cruiserweight title. El Hijo de Vikingo won the Latin American Championship. The War Machine is the new Triple A Tag Team Champions, as, I believe, Pagano turned his back on Psycho Clown. Oh, well. That was that. I think we had that, I think next week we had that 6-woman, women's match with Bayley in there. With La Catalina, stuff like that. So that's gonna be, I believe, next week. But, hey, all I have to say is Clash in Italy topped that for the weekend. Oh, we got Clash in Italy coming up later tomorrow. We'll talk about that. I don't know when, but I want to try to get a couple of videos out because, you know, I'm a little bit backed up, but I was out all day, so I want to try to get at least 2 videos out today, take a little short nap, and then get up, because I do have to go out, do some errands tomorrow. I am not watching, sadly, I'm not going to be able to watch Clash in Italy live, because I do have some errands to run in the afternoon, so I will be watching a replay. So I know people are gonna be hit me, you know, hit me. I'm gonna get notifications like, oh, Roman run, you know, this and that. I'm like, yeah, Roman run, great. You know, I'll just watch. I might watch some of the highlights, and then when I get home tomorrow night, I'll watch the entire show. Give you a full review, hopefully tomorrow or sometime Monday, but. So, I'm a little bit backed up, as usual, so, because, you know, life and shit like that, but we move on with that. But like I said, I hope you had a great day, guys, and if not, hope you have a better tomorrow, and a good start to June, and that's that. Because I'm going to be here through hopefully the end of the year. We'll see what happens with that, because my work schedule is changing in September, so, but I'll be here throughout the whole summer. And, that's pretty much it. But, ladies and gentlemen, on your late Saturday night, right here on the Kill Demons channel, I'm Peter Joseph, your gracious host. I'm a content creator to talk about the wonderful world of professional wrestling, or whatever the fuck I want to talk about. And if you like it, great. You don't, then get the fuck off my channel, you sons of bitches. Go to your dead channel with 5 subs and nobody cares about. And if you think my videos are boring, I don't care, but you're still watching it. And then critiquing it like little idiots that you are. You think I care? No. Thank you for the attention, dumb fucks. You could have a whole bunch of freaking people in your chat but they're watching me too. So, thank you for the views, assholes. Not that I need the attention, but thank you anyway. More fans equals more fun. That's that. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, it is time for your late and out-of-date TNA Empire Wrestling, and Ring of Honor reviews for this past Thursday night, May the 28th, 2026. Alright, TNA, I thought it was a pretty decent show. Ring of Honor, usual stuff, but that's that. Alright, as always, we get to the better show. Let's get to Impact Wrestling, and once again, we are from Sacktown, Sacramento, California, at the Sacramento Memorial Auditorium. And once again, our commentary team, Tom Phillips and the man who loves Rusev Day, and that's Matthew Waywall, aiding English. So we got that. Alright, so we're about a month away. Actually, we're 4 weeks away, almost a month away, from Slammiversary, the 24th year anniversary show, because next year will be 25 years of TNA and Ring of Honor. That's amazing. But we got that. So we're trying to formulate some matches, the storylines are continuing on to Slammiversary. We do know at Slammiversary there will be the return of Ultimate X, and Cedric Alexander will be defending that belt, I think, against 5 other guys, and one of them is the former champion Leon Slater. And then we all know Mike Santana and Eric Young for the TNA World title. All the titles are on the line. So Ali will be facing, I don't know who, for the Intercontinental title. The Knockouts tag team titles will be on the line. The Elegance brand and the Prophecy. You know who's going to win that one. We got that. Xia Li against Xia Brookside. Looks like it's going to happen there. Tag team titles on the line with the System, Bear Bronson and Brian Myers teaming up against I don't know who. We got that. I think that's it. Yeah, should be it. There might be a couple matches added, but we'll see. So we got that. But this episode was a champions versus challengers night, basically. So a lot of weird teams. The champions, and some of them, heels against other heels and faces. So we got that. So we open up with the opening sequence, and I'm not gonna go through everything because I want to get this done and then go to SmackDown. But we got that. All right. So the first match out the gate was a men's champions challenge. So we have the champions, the Intercontinental champion Mustafa Ali, the tag team champions Bear Bronson and Brian Myers, Cedric Alexander, the X Division champion, and the TNA champion from the bar, Mike Santana. Alright, so they take on the challengers, the so-called King of TNA, Frankie Kazarian, the former X Division champion Leon Slater, the #1 contender to Mike Santana's title, that's Grandpa Eric Young, the man who plays a mean acoustic twanger, and that's Elijah. Who wants to walk with Elijah? And my good friend, KC Navarro. And if one of the challengers pins a champion, they get a future title shot, even though EY already has his world title shot. So, he could pin one of the champions. He could pin Mustafa Ali. He gets an Intercontinental title shot. He pins Cedric Alexander, X Division title shot. He pins Mike Santana. Doesn't really matter because he gets his title shot anyway. But if he pins Bear Bronson and Brian Myers, tag team title shot. So so EY has he has a caveat even with his world title. He can pin the other 4 guys, and then so lots of stake in this match. So match was pretty wild for under 21 minutes. We're getting to the end, and Bear Bronson, Mophead, he launched Casey Navarro for a near fall, and then Ali tagged himself back in, much to Bear Bronson's annoyance. Damn it! What'd you do that for? You know, stuff like that. So, Leon gets back in with a spin wheel kick for a near fall. And then, we got craziness. Ali goes for a charge, missed. And then Leon Swanton 450 gets a near fall. As Alicia Edwards, do you want to know something? Yeah, she's out there, of course. Puts the foot on the rope. I think the referee's like, I saw that, you are out! No, I don't think he kicked her out. But anyway, Barrett Bronson then throws Ali one of the belts, or his belt. Referee's like, no, no, no! So, while he's doing that, getting the belt out of the way, Leon hits a super kick, and then Casey Navarro hits Blessing in Disguise on Mustafa Ali. 1, 2, 3. So he gets an Intercontinental title shot, most likely, at Slammiversary. That could be a pretty good match, but we'll see what happens with that. Alright, match itself, great. 3.5 out of 5 stars. And we're off and running on TNA Impact Wrestling. Yep! And that's pretty much it. Alright, after that, we get a promo from the former TNA Knockouts champion, Onyeka Grace. She's there with her hubby, Stacks Mahomes. Complains about being thrown into a Knockouts title match on such short notice thanks to her dad. Lost to Xia Li as a result of that. And therefore, it's time for her hubby to beat up her dad, Santino Bulala, you son of my gun. And that's that. And she says that Stacks is going to put him in a nursing home. And no, she's not going to go visit her dad in the nursing home. What kind of daughter are you? Anyway. So we got that. So we got that coming up later. But we move on with that. Alright, then we get a promo from the Righteous. Do you know what I'm saying? That's Vincent and Dutch. They invite the Broken Hardys, yes! Broken Matt Hardy and Brother Nito, I knew you'd come! So they invite them to the Wicked Garden, because they're going to have a Wicked Garden match, whatever that is. Some type of hardcore match. But, nice Stone Temple Pilots reference! Scott Weiland is like, from your wicked garden to the ground, stuff like that. I want to get next to you. That's a different song. Yeah, good man Scott Weiland, right? Probably snorting a line of cocaine up in heaven, I don't know, but, good singer. Good singer, just could not stop doing drugs. Could not stop. And, just fucked him up. Even though he was doing pretty good in Velvet Revolver, but he was starting to get clean, and then, he's like, relapse after relapse after relapse. And then, he's gone. Died on his tour bus, and I think in Minnesota or something like that. Remember when that happened, I did a video, late at night, and then, me and Rose were talking about it. Rose was like, oh, he didn't die! Shut up. She thinks nobody dies. I mean, it's crazy. I remember I did a video about AJ Pero from, Twisted Sister! And then, who was it, what's his name? He died in the ring against Rey Mysterio. I forgot his name. It's on the tip of my tongue. I forgot his name, but Rosa's daughter, he died in his sleep or something like that, or, he was murdered. It's a funny video, not a funny video, but from her point of view. But just watch it. It's on my Metal God channel somewhere. So. It was, Pero Aguayo Jr. Yeah. It is what it is, so watch that. But yeah, so the Hardys and the Righteous keep going on. I thought we were going to get like a a Pataliptica match or some, they're gonna go to the Hardy compound, but no, we're going to the Wicked Garden. We're gonna meet Scott Weiland there or something like that. The rest of STP, the DeLeo brothers. I don't even think STP is around anymore. I mean, they had Chester Bennington in the band for a little bit, but, kind of worked out, but, Chester was just so red hot with Linkin Park, and then he passed away due to fame, basically, depression. The same way Robin Williams passed away from depression. Not the Hana Kimura effect, but, different. Hana Kimura died because of stupid assholes on the freaking internet bullying her. Same thing happened to my girl Daphne 5 years ago. Not even, almost 6 years ago now. Birthday's coming up, too. We're coming up on Bray Wyatt and Terry Funk's anniversary of their death, too. We just passed Owen Hart's anniversary is passing. I think 99, I believe. I think it was 99. So 27 years since we lost Owen Hart, the great man that he is. And we're coming up on, I think, a couple, I think 2 years with Bray Wyatt and Terry Funk. So, and July, we're coming up on the deaths of Malcolm Jamal Warner, the 1 year anniversary of that, and Hulk Hogan and Ozzy. Pretty much a day apart. It's crazy. So, so we're going to do some remembrance about that when those days come up. Well, for Hogan and Ozzy obviously, because he died on the 23rd of July, and then Hogan died on the 24th. So July, end of July is going to be a little bit of a remembrance video, a couple of remembrance videos for Ozzy and everything, so. It's going to be a really hard day for, me remembering my dad, Ozzy. So, we got that. Alright, so let's get back on track. So, the Righteous and the Hardys going to the Wicked Garden. Not the garden, but, not that garden, but, Speaking of that, well, the NBA Finals are set for Wednesday night in San Antonio, Texas, as the Spurs defeated the Oklahoma City Thunder in Oklahoma City. I think they won by 10 or 13 points. So they won the Western Conference title. And, game 1 and 2 will be on Wednesday and Friday. They go to New York for games 3 and 4. That, game 3 will be June 8th and 10th in the Garden in New York City. You know that's going to be crazy. In New York, with those rowdy fans waiting outside. Call the National Guard. But this is a rematch from the NBA Cup earlier this season, which the Knicks won. Which is like they just won a stinging trinket, basically. Now they're playing for the real thing. I think it could be a good series, but I was hoping the Knicks would get Oklahoma City because, the Knicks match up well with San Antonio. I think they could beat them, but Oklahoma City would have gave them fits. And I hope Wemby gets his chip, I really hope Wemby gets the ring. Because I can see San Antonio doing what they did in 1999, but, we don't have David Robinson and company there anymore. They're not there. Even the coach ain't there. It's a different coach now, obviously. So, not the same from 27 years ago. So, we'll see if the Knicks can win their first title since 1972, I believe. So, 44 years. Not even 44, 54 years since the Knicks won the title. So, Good luck. But if they win, they get no parade per the so-called great mayor that we have here in New York City, Mr. Momdumney. They'll have it anyway. They're gonna have one anyway, you know. People are gonna demand it, and they're gonna have it anyway. You know, it's gonna be insane. You know, when the Knicks win that title, New York City is gonna be, like, gonna be insane. It's like when the Yankees won the titles, or the Mets won the titles. Even the Giants. You know, well, I was gonna say, and the Rangers in '94, because I was there for that. What's that? I think the last actual New York team to win a title in the last 10 years was the New York Liberty, when they won the WNBA title. And yeah, the Brooklyn Cyclones won, you know, they won the single A championship last season. Did they get a parade in Coney Island? Nope. They got nothing. That was sad. Should have got something in Coney Island. But we didn't get nothing. And now, they stink. They're 16-33. They won, I think, yesterday. Or they won today. I don't even know if they won today. Yesterday, I think they won yesterday. I don't know if they won today. Don't care. They just stink this year. Like the Mets. But even though the Mets won today, they played their best game of the year today. Winning I believe they won 6-1. Christian Scott with his first Major League win. Great. Well, we'll see if the Mets can sweep Miami, like Miami swept them in Florida, and Mets can get back into 4th place. The power of SpongeBob! Yeah, they didn't have SpongeBob there, but they had the voice of Patrick Star there, so who knows? You know, next thing you know, they'll have SpongeBob throughout the first pitch. Like how Grimace threw out the first pitch and they went on a humongous second half run in 2024. We could somehow get that. God forbid, you know, we have SpongeBob throw out the first pitch. And the Mets go on a humongous run, get to the playoffs somehow. I mean, right now they're 7 out. They were 7 out of the 3rd wild card, but they got to jump over like 15 teams. I mean, it's almost June 1st, guys. You know, they could contend for that wild card if they start racking up some wins. You know, 3 in a row right now. If they can win if they can win some series going into the All-Star break. Whatever David Stearns does he sell? Does he buy to try to make a playoff run? I mean, we'll see. Depends on how we get to July 1st now. So, I mean, they had a great month of May. Not a great month. It was like about 500. But I think that what the Mets got to do is get to 500. If they can get to 500 by the All-Star break, I think they might have a good shot if they have a good second half, especially August, which is always a bad month for the Mets. They could have a good August and make a good playoff run September. Maybe we could see the Mets in the playoffs. But, you know, with their pitching staff, I don't know. Their bullpen is not great. Devin Williams is not, you know, what he used to be. I really think Pete Alonso, rattled him 2 years ago. Because he stunk on the Yankees. He stunk so far here in Queens with, you know, the Mets. So up and down, like Jekyll and Hyde with him. And then bringing Luke Weaver is the same thing. Just underachieving and underwhelming right now for the Mets. But somehow, some way, you know, even without Lindor, who's coming back, I think after the All-Star break, Alvarez is I don't know what's going on, Alvarez. Alvarez is taking live batting practice. Almost a week after he got his leg messed up and he had surgery on the leg, and now he's taking batting practice. No wonder Steve Gell says, "You're a freak of nature." So, next thing you know, they're going to take off, Alvarez is going to come off the IL and then get hurt again. Should have took some more time off. And then Jorge Polanco's coming back next weekend in San Diego. Of course, the Mets, after tomorrow, they go to Seattle to face the Mariners. Oh boy, they're going to get killed there. And then they go to San Diego, they're going to get killed there too. Because Tatis finally hit a home run this year. His first home run he hit today. Big deal! The guy that should be a Met, but imagine him and, Lindor wants him on the Mets so bad. I don't know about Soto, but Soto could have been on the Padres or the Dodgers. And Skubal, I mean, there's a lot of talk about Skubal going to, he could possibly be on the Dodgers by the All-Star break or come after the All-Star break for the trade deadline. I'll tell you right now, the Dodgers get Skubal, forget it. Forget it. Just give him the third title in a row. They're not even playing that great, too. They're supposed to be a super team, and they're pretty mediocre. Crazy. Alright, moving on. Alright, back to TNA we go. So, we're going to go to the Wicked Garden, and then we'll see what happens with the Hardys and the Righteous. Alright, back to the ring we go for knockouts action. Tessa Blanchard by herself. No Mila Moore, no Alicia Fox. By herself, she takes on Honey Hudson. So, this was a decent match, a little cool-down match. In the end, Tessa gets the win with the buzzsaw in a smidge over 8 minutes. Decent match, 2.5 out of 5 stars, and pretty much that was it. Alright, then we're in the back. Xia Li is there. And then we have the personal concierge, George the Iceman. He tells her not to screw it up for the Elegance brand later, because she's going to be teaming up with the women's knockouts tag team champions. That's Em and Heather by Alliance. As they take on Xia Brookside, Cora Jade, and Mara Shade, the weirdest of teams. Is this Battle Bowl? No. Remember that? That was an interesting little pay-per-view. Battle Bowl. 60... No, that was that? Yeah, the weird teams they have. Like, you would have, like, Ric Flair, a good guy, teaming up with, somebody that's a bad guy. Or he'd be bad, he'd be teaming up with Sting or something like that. Weird. They should bring that back. I'd like to see that. I'd like to see some type of concept like that in WWE or AEW. Maybe not so much in Ring of Honor, but I don't know. Alright, so we'll see what happens with that. Alright, back to the ring we go for, father versus son-in-law. Santino Malala takes on Stax Mahomes. Was it a great match? A little over 5.5 minutes. Ariana Grace got on the apron to distract her dad, who was about to use the Cobra! And Ariana took it away. And then Stax with a fruit roll-up. 1, 2, 3. So, hey, son-in-law beats the daddy. That was that. But wasn't a great match. 2.25 out of 5 stars. And then after the match, Ariana yells at her dad, slaps him up a little bit. Tries to go slap him, and Santino's like, "You gonna slap me? No, you're not slapping me." And then Stax jumps him, and then Indy Hartwell comes out for the save and says, "Title or no title, I am coming for you." And she wants a mixed tag team match right here, right now. Well, doesn't get that because Sonya Deville comes out, the suit, she comes out and says, "No, not gonna do it, because Stax won fair and square." Yeah, right. She says, "But I do like the idea of a mixed tag team match, but we're gonna do it next week." And then she says her stupid catchphrase, "Shut up, I'm talking!" Alright, so we got a mixed tag team match coming out of this. Did I care? No. We get that. Alright, then we got Flop Dollar AJ Francis yelling at someone for not having paperwork for him. And it needs to be there by tomorrow. Well, you can't use a fax machine? Or, one-day mail from the post office there, AJ? You're lazy. Whatever it was, he's mad at it, that he didn't get the paperwork, whatever that was. Maybe, maybe some taxes, I don't know. Who knows? Who cares? All right, we get that. Alright, after that, and I gave that 2.25 out of 5 stars. Then we get to Eddie Edwards with his wife, Alicia Edwards, at ringside. Takes on, the in-ring debut of Fabian Aichner, or Giovanni Vinci. This was actually a good match, and, Fabian Aichner is now officially in TNA, and I think it's a good fit for him, and I hope he has good success there. But anyway, good match, but the system comes out. Fabian dives onto all of them, starts by springboard tornado DDT. And then he locks in a bulldog choke, but then the system come back in the ring for a disqualification. So, hey, a win is a win by DQ. So Fabian Aichner wins by DQ over Eddie Edwards. And then the system take him out after that, basically. Nobody came out to help the guy. Sucks. And we move on with that. Alright, so that match was actually pretty good. 3 out of 5 stars. Alright, then we go to the Women's Champions Challenge. Like I said, Xia Li, and Heather by Elegance, taking on Corey Jade, Xia Brookside, and Mara Sade. With Keith Jardine, that Netflix guy, or whoever he is. And we had Georgie Iceman and Mr. Elegance, that, Timu Jack Perry was at ringside. And same rules. Whoever the challengers pin the champion, they get that respective title shot. So it could be for the Women's Knockouts Tag Team title shot, or Xia Li's TNA Knockouts title. We already know Xia Brookside already has that in her back pocket. So another decent match, 16 minutes exactly. So we finally get Xia Brookside and Xia Li in the ring with Xia Li grabbing a suplex for a near fall. Then she hits the Warrior's Way for another near fall as Corey Jade comes in to break up the pin. And then all 6 ladies are in the ring. And then Mr. Elegance, that Team Jack Perry, he tries to interfere. And then he gets a heel hook from Keith Jardine. So I think he's from MMA, something like that. Then Georgie Iceman is stalked to the back, but somehow Mr. Elegance still at ringside. Always a quick distraction, which allows Xia Brookside to plant Xia Li with Dark Side of the Force. That wicked, I don't know what it is. Dropped it right on her head. 1, 2, 3 in 16 minutes. Xia Brookside's team gets the win. And Xia Brookside pinned the champion, so not really she gets another title shot, she already had it. So she just pins the champ again. So we'll see what happens at Slammiversary with that. But decent match, and that was the main event of the show. Nothing else after that. Alright, so we'll see what happens this week on TNA Impact Wrestling. And, so we're counting down the weeks to Slammiversary on June the 28th. And that will be in the daytime. That'll be at, I believe, at 3 p.m. And then we're going to go right into Forbidden Door at 8 p.m. Well, if you want to watch the, pretty much the final hour of Slammiversary is going to go head-to-head with 0 Hour. 0 Hour's going to get swamped. It's going to get destroyed, but at least we got a lead-in from 3 o'clock. I think it's going to go from 3 to 6, or 3 to 7, and then we go right into the pre-show for Forbidden Door. So we got a lot of wrestling coming up in about a month from now. About 4 weeks from 4 weeks from tomorrow is Forbidden Door and Slammiversary Sunday. We got Night of Champions in Saudi Arabia, which is gonna happen in Saudi Arabia. That's gonna be the finals of the King and Queen of the Ring. Plus, who knows what else is gonna happen there? Maybe Roman. I don't know if Roman's gonna be fighting on the show. He's not even advertised, but he probably will be on the show to defend the belt. We got that, and then we're gonna go into July. And we got Saturday's main event coming up July 18th from Madison Square Garden. And then 2 weeks after that is night 1 of SummerSlam, and then night 2, August 1st and 2nd. And then August 23rd is Lockdown by itself. It was supposed to be with All In, but I think All In got moved to August 30th, the week after. And that's going to happen in London at 3 p.m. Eastern Time. So we get to watch like 5 hours of that from 3 to probably around 8:15. That's on August the 2nd. So that's going to be August the 30th, I'm sorry. So that's it. And then we got Labor Day weekend right after that. And I don't know when All Out will be. I forgot July. We got Redemption, the new pay-per-view, July 20... When is that? 25th or the 26th, I think it is. I think it's the 26th. I could be wrong on the date, but new AEW pay-per-view, Redemption, which is pretty much the prelude to All In. So that's gonna be fun. From, I believe it's in Montreal. So right after Forbidden Door, we're going right to Redemption, and then after that, we're going to London. So where's Forbidden Door? I don't even know where Forbidden Door is, but from that, we're going to Canada, going to Montreal. Then we're taking a left at Albuquerque to go to London. And then back to the States for All Out. So, interesting summer, ladies and gentlemen. Interesting summer. We got Raw Monday afternoon at 2 p.m. from Italy. SmackDown gonna be from France. So that's gonna be at 2 p.m. on VPN, if you have one. Netflix VPN. And then June 8th, Raw is gonna be from France. That's gonna be at 2 p.m. Eastern Time live here in the States on Netflix. And I believe the June 12th SmackDown, I think, is also going to be overseas. I got to check that. But June 15th, we're going to be in Baltimore. And then June 22nd, we're going to London. That's going to be, I don't know if it's going to be live at 3 p.m. for the London show. And then we're pretty much back, we're going to overseas. Because the night before Night of Champions, going to Saudi Arabia. So that SmackDown is going to be that SmackDown is going to be at, I believe, 1 or 2 p.m. on SmackDown VPN, and Raw, I assume, is going to be whatever time that's going to be. That's the June 20. That's the June 29th Raw and SmackDown double taping, by the way. So I think it's going to be in the States, because July 4th, July 3rd is taped. It's going to be the tape shows. So Raw will be taped on June 29th, and SmackDown will see taped on July the 3rd, because July 4th weekend, basically that week of going into July 4th weekend, Hunter said, we got off! So we'll be back, WWE would be back live July the 6th for a new episode of Live Raw and everything like that. But lots of stuff coming your way this summer. I'll be here, like I said, throughout the summer, all the way up to Labor Day and maybe beyond, but we'll see what happens with that. But as far as TNA goes, I thought it was a pretty decent show, and I'm going to give it 7.25 out of 10 stars. And that's pretty much it. Alright, now we're going to go to, well, hopefully, we're going to go to Ring of Honor. And, you know, Ring of Honor coming off Supercard. We're heading to who knows what. As we get to Forbidden Door. Might be some matches for Forbidden Door. Maybe some matches for Redemption. And then Death Before Dishonor should be coming sometime in August or September. And, that's pretty much it. Alright. I got my notes all ready to go. Alright, so Ring of Honor back at WKC Studios in Jacksonville, Florida. And as always, our commentary team of the boring man himself, Ian Wicca Boring, and my good buddy, the Pasta. If I don't do this, he gets mad. The Pasta. Caprice Coleman. Who I should be working with, but Tony Khan doesn't want to DM me. But if you do know Tony Khan, if you have him on Twitter, please DM him and say, hey, you know, Peter Joseph on YouTube needs a job. I work backstage. I don't give a shit. I'll take down the ring if I have to. Just keep me away from a few people, then we'll be fine. Just, you know, maybe I have to stay away from... Hi, guys! It's Darby Allin! You know, get away... Oh, I might have to get away from emo Darby Allin. William Yuta, the guy that fears me so much. But, you know, it is what it is. But, you know, just... point me in the direction of Mina Shirakawa. I'm there, dude. I'm there. I am there, and me and Mina were like peaches and cream. Speaking of Mina, I love her so much. She hit me up on Instagram. Well, she didn't hit me up like a DM, but, you know. I left her a comment on one of her stories, and she left me a comment. I'm not going to show it to you, but... Oh, thank you very much. Yeah, thank you very much, my dick. It's my fourth wife. You gotta love her. Oh, we got that. Alright, let's get back to Ring of Honor. Alright, so, we start off Ring of Honor with Athena, still our forever women's champion, getting on that road to 1,300 days. She's rather proud of her win at Double or Nothing. Happy with her, you know, surviving the fittest, basically, and beating Mina in the quarterfinals of the Women's Owen Hart Tournament. She will be facing Saray or Sky Blue. That match is coming up this week, I believe, on Dynamite or Collision. So she's happy with the win against Mina, and warns everybody this was going to happen. So, you know, she's got this tournament she could possibly win, and as we found out, spoiler alert for Collision tonight, they announced a survival of the fittest match at Redemption for the vacant TBS title. We don't know who's in it yet, but I assume qualifying matches will be coming the way pretty soon. So we'll see who wins that. You know, Athena's like salivating. It was like, oh, you know, I survived that. You know, survival of the fittest match. I survived that match. I could do it again. Good. Now Billy Starks, my girl Billy Starks, put on Twitter like, sign me up. Say to Steel, sign me up. We'll see what happens with that. Okay. We get that before the show starts. Then we have the opening sequence, and we start off Ring of Honor TV with the AEW National title. So we had Mark Davis. Without Mr. Penis Head, that's Don Callis, takes on our good friend Adam Priest. No relation to Poppy Priest. Jobber extraordinaire, Mr. Adam Priest. Under 12 minutes, and hey, you know, Adam Priest, you know, he kind of took Mark Davis, not to the limit per se, but it was getting there. But Mark Davis gets the win. with a Lariato clothesline, sets up the Power Driver! 1, 2, 3 to retain the belt. In a pretty decent match. 2.5 out of 5 stars for that. Under 12 minutes. We get that. Alright, after that, match number 2, we have Anthony Wake Me Up Before You A Go-Go. Takes on some guy named Darian Bengston. No, not Chester Bennington, but Darian Bengston. Anthony Ogogo had the rest of Shane Taylor Promotions out there. You know, Shane Taylor, Lee Moriarty, the Infantry, Galibaro, and Captain Sean Dean. I think we had Christian XO as well. Oof, she looks so good. For a big lady, she is tall. But I digress. This was a 6-minute match. We had Darian get a few moves, but basically that was it. You know, little, some like Whisper in the Wind he hit. And then, I think he tried to lock in the Rings of Saturn on Anthony Ogogo. That got reversed easily into a spinning slam for a near fall. Then he just takes his right hand, you know, doesn't cock it like Mr. Roman, about to do a Superman punch. He goes, boom! Knocks him the fuck out. That was it. So Anthony Ogogo gets the win in a smidge over 6 minutes, and I didn't give 2 fucks about the match. 2.25 out of 5 stars, and that's that. Alright, after that, we get the Mensa! Mance Warner! He wants a Pure Rules... He wants the Pure Rules title from Lee Moriarty, and he's getting a shot at the title next week. Though it's not for the title, it's a Proving Ground match. Well, I guess he has to earn the shot, so why not do the Proving Ground match? See if he can actually win the match and get a title shot, or last the time limit and get a title shot. But we'll see. For Mance, I hope he gets that title shot. I hope he gets it, but well, we'll see. We move on with that. 2.25 out of 5 stars for that. Alright, back to where we go with speaking of Pure Rules, we have a Pure Rules match between, well, a couple of girls who don't have many wins in Ring of Honor. We have one and God knows how many losses. Viva Van takes on Rachel Ellering, who has not that many wins in Ring of Honor as well. Alright, so we get that. Viva Van flipped forward into a pose. Do the pose. Vogue. Strike a pose. Okay, whatever. Gets sent to the apron. Rachel Ellering knocks her down, setting up a backsplash for a near fall. And then a double arm crank on Viva Van, who had to use her first rope break. And then something like Tequila Sunrise by Viva Van has Rachel Ellering using her first rope break. Somebody call Conan. Oy, Tequila Sunrise. All you strawberries and fruit cakes, esse! Arriba la pasta! Somebody call, what's his name? Somebody call the Thrillers, somebody call the Natural Born Thrillers and, call, what's his name? What's his name? Not, I was thinking Mark Jindrak. He was in the Thrillers, but not the leader of it. I forgot the name of the actual, who was actually the leader of that group. It's on the tip of my tongue and I can't think of it, but I remember how mean, the guy was talking about, he was mocking Conan's little thing, Reba La Pasta, stuff like that. And that's enough. And then Mean Gene's like, oh, real funny, you prick. On live TV, mind you. And he was they were about to mess Mean Gene up. Mean Gene can fight, his own battles, but, he still would have got his ass kicked. Remember when he had that tag team match? He had a tag team match with Hogan. And he kind of got his butt kicked. Then we had that. I think he was him it was him or Fink had a tuxedo match, I think, with Mr. Fuji. I think he won that. I mean, Mean Gene can, you think he's just, you would think it's just an old guy, he can't fight, right? Yeah. Did a couple moves, not many, but yeah, moving on. Alright, so we get 2 rope breaks right there. And then Rachel escapes an electric chair out of the corner, gets a near fall off a running elbow. Then the sort of abyss, black hole slam, or the boss man slam, the boss woman slam gets countered into a spinning back fist by Viva Van, and then her bridging electric chair suplex gets the win. Oh, win? She has 2 wins now! Not back to back, obviously, but 2 wins in Ring of Honor. So she gets the win in a little over 7 minutes. But that, So 2.25 out of 5 stars for that. Alright, after that, we get to Angelico taking on Oro Menzo, or just now Oro. This is a 5-minute match. Getting to the end, and Oro hits something like a Pele kick off of Angelico's shoulder, only for him to pull him into a leg lock for the tap out. So I think Angelico got the win. Or got the win in 5 minutes. I blinked and missed the ending. So here's what it is. Match I didn't give 2 craps about. 2.25 out of 5 stars, and that's it. Alright, then we have Caprice Coleman sitting down with the Forever Women's Champion Athena. And Caprice praises Athena a little, quite a bit, kind of sucking up to her and all that shit. So Athena talks about how her reign started, almost 4+ years ago, as this innocent girl, but then she realized how great she was, became basically the female Roman Reigns. Now she's become the person people think of when they think of Ring of Honor, and she doesn't want to be disappointed with her career. And she's not. She lost the belt to whoever. She still has a great Ring of Honor career. One of the longest reigning champions overall in Ring of Honor. But women's champion, nobody's gonna eclipse that. But anyway, and so she tells us to watch her, and when someone better comes along, whenever that'll happen, they'll get the belt. But it's not gonna happen anytime soon. I mean, Maya World came this close to pinning her. Billy Stark's the same thing. So, I still think it's going to be, at this point, it has to be Deonna Purrazzo. It has to be, because she's the only champion left. Unless they bring in Mercedes Moné, or they bring in somebody to beat Athena. But right now, she's getting close to 4 years as champ. Crazy. Roman territory. That's that. Alright, then after that, we get another women's match. Speaking of Maya World, she takes on Trish Adora. I was interested in this match. And wasn't great, but in the end, got a German suplex, drops Maya World, comes right back with a small package, 1, 2, 3, 8.5 minute match. She gets the win over Trish Adora, who, hasn't really done much in Ring of Honor, besides getting to the semifinals or the finals of the then Ring of Honor Women's Championship, or the Women of Honor title, which was won by Sumi Sakai, and then we all know who won, and after that, that's my girl Kelly Klein. I miss her. I don't know what she's doing these days, but not on Twitter, obviously, anymore, but... And we know that, Mandy Leone is pretty much, I think she's doing some modeling, but, she's with Delirious, who impregnated her with a baby, bastard. But she's a Brooklyn chick. Who's right around my neck of the woods. I don't know if she still lives there, but I know she is from Brooklyn. Obviously. And I met her a couple of times. She's a doll. She's such a nice lady. I would take a bullet for her. No. Anyway, speaking of more ladies action, we got Story Denali with Smart Mark Sterling, takes on Brooke Havoc, who, size-wise, Story Denali makes fun of because Story Denali's huge. Like 6 feet tall, and Brooke Havoc's like 4'10", soaking wet. Match lasted 4 minutes. Story Denali gets the win with a choke slam. Big deal. 2.25 out of 5 stars for that. And we move on. Then we find out the one and only Queen Aminata comes back next week. Great. We move on. Alright, then a non-title proving ground match for, chance at the 6-man tag team titles. So we have the Frat House of Cole Carter, Griff Garrison, and I believe, Jacked Jameson. They take on the Ring of Honor 6-man tag team champions, the Peacock, Dalton Castle, and my favorite tag team in Ring of Honor and AEW, the Outrunners, Duke Magnum and Terrible Floyd, who still follow me on Instagram and Twitter. They love me there. But anyway, this is not a great match. A little over a smidge over 5.5 minutes. The champs retain. Well, they don't retain, but they get the win after the Mega Powers Brother the elbow from them. Well, they go for it. It gets broken up, but second time happens and they pin Griff Garrison. And that's not pretty much it. We move on. And then after the match, Lethal Twist comes out, beats the champs down. That's Jay Lethal, Black Machismo. Ooh, yeah. And Blake Christian and Lee Johnson, they all come out, beat the champs down. And then they get on the mic, they brag about their uniqueness and abilities. And looks like they want the belts, obviously. But for now, they're gonna get a match. I don't know when, but we get that. Alright, so they stay out after they beat the champs down. They stay at ringside, and we got a tag team match between Blake Christian and Jay Lethal. They take on some team named Il Cartello Grillo. Whatever that means. Where was the sleeping line? I can't translate. But anyway, Jay Lethal puts on the Woo! Nature Boy Figure 4. Blake Christian Springboard 450 hits. And then he makes Grillo tap out in under 3.5 minutes. Did I say under 3.5 minutes? Yes, I did. And we get that. So, see what happens with them going after they go after the tag team titles that Sammy Guevara and the Beast Mortis has, or the 6-man tag team titles that the Outrunners and Dalton Castle have. So we'll see what happens with them. We move on. Alright, then we get a match that was taped in Mexico City, Mexico, S.A. So we had Bandido S.A. defending the Ring of Honor title against Volador Jr. This was actually pretty damn good. Over 21 minutes. Just amazing match. We get to the end. Bandito hits the X-knee into the 21-plex, but he got a near fall out of that. And then Volador Jr. hits a running Canadian Destroyer for a near fall, but he takes too long to go up top, and we get a reverse super fallaway slam. That's a mouthful. That's what she said. And then Volador landed on his face. Ow. And then Bandito finished him off with a 21-plex to retain the belt. And a pretty damn good match. And that's pretty much it. So, see what happens with Bandito. As, he still got a date with a guy named Swerve. Though Swerve beat him, actually. So, we'll see what happens with that. Maybe Swerve and Bandito for the Ring of Honor title. And we'll get that. Moving on. Alright. Another title on the line. This time we go back to Jacksonville. The TV title is on the line in a very good match as well. AR Fox takes on Wesley, otherwise known as Desmond Xavier, from the Rascals. Man, this was a great match for 12 and a half minutes. Getting to the end, AR Fox is a basement giddy kata bang for a near fall. Desmond Xavier hits him right in his face. Hits the cardiac kick for a near fall. But AR Fox is right back with a DDT into a springboard tornado DDT into a spinning suplex for a near fall. That was an interesting sequence. And then Desmond Xavier kicks AR Fox back down. Goes up top, slipped, crotched himself. Oops. Balls. And then AR Fox is no main pain. And then the 450 splash. 1, 2, 3 in pretty much exactly 12 and a half minutes to retain the Ring of Honor TV title. And, like I said, a pretty good match. And that was the main event. And then after the match, Code of Honor. You'd love to see that. So we got that. Alright, so Ring of Honor actually wasn't that bad. But, you know, it's just Ring of Honor. You know, sometimes we'll have good matches and then you have the cool down matches with the ladies and some other just boring BS. But this week, I thought it was actually decent. So I'm going to give it a decent 6.5 out of 10 stars. Let me know what you guys think of Ring of Honor and TNA this past week. And we'll see what happens this coming Thursday on the programs. And that's that. So, 7.25 out of 10 stars for Impact. And 6.5 out of 10 stars for Ring of Honor. And that's pretty much it. Alright guys, I'm going to quickly go do my SmackDown review. And then I'm going to go take a quick nap. I'll be back on the Shadows 2.0 channel with episode 116, your Clash in Italy predictions. And we'll do that. And then after that, we will do a three-way, a triple threat for AEW Dynamite and both Collisions, because Collision was on tonight. I'm gonna do that. I might do a separate video for Collision for tonight's episode. So tomorrow I get 2 videos, and then Monday we'll get 2 videos, and then we'll talk about Raw maybe late Monday if I have time, if not early Tuesday. And then that's it. And then we'll get ready for NXT on Tuesday, and we'll see what happens with that. But please hit the bell so you know when the videos will come. But like I said, tomorrow early, probably about 1 o'clock, because paper's at 2. So I'll do my predictions for Clash in Italy, and when I get home later tomorrow, we'll talk about Dynamite and Collision from this past Wednesday, and then if I have some time, we'll talk about Clash in Italy. We'll do the review for that, and then we'll do do an early Collision review before we go to Raw. I don't know. Maybe we'll do it after Raw, and then late Monday night we'll talk about Monday Night Raw. So I want everybody to watch Raw. So I don't want to do it. Whatever. But we got that. But don't forget, Raw is at 2 p.m. Eastern Time this Monday on Netflix live from Italy. Clash in Italy tomorrow at 2 p.m. on pay-per-view. Should be great. Hopefully Roman wins Tribal Combat. Walter destroys Cody. And Brock Lesnar, I think, will get his revenge on Oba. Femi. But we'll see. So things can change. And if Jacob can actually, if he's going to be able to compete. But there was a story with an update on Jacob saying he looks like he's going to be medically cleared and will be able to do the match tomorrow with Roman. But they do have a backup plan. And they were saying it could be Roman and Eli Drake. Not in Tribal Combat, obviously, but just a regular match. So Roman will, defend the belt against Eli Drake. Didn't we see that already? And Roman beat his ass to a pulp. We don't want to see that again. We really don't. I would just scrap the match and say, send Roman home. Or just the Raw. But say, hey, you don't have to fight tomorrow. Just come back on Raw. I don't know. I don't know what they're going to do. some of these injuries happen at the, you can't control them, even if they happen at the worst possible time. Like Seth Rollins getting hurt and missing WrestleMania this year. This year. So he came back, and then, see what he's going to do now. And that's that. Alright, thanks for watching, guys. Until next time, peace.